The VA is adding 3 new conditions to the presumptive list. This could help you win your VA disability claim. Hi, welcome to VA Made Easy. I'm Ed Farmer. I'm a VA accredited attorney and U.S. Army combat veteran. Today, we're not only going to talk about what those 3 new conditions are, but I'm also going to give an overview about the presumptives the PACT Act creates and how you could use them to win your claim. If you're looking for more individualized help, visit me at vetlawoffice.com. But for now, let's get into it. All right, so let's talk about what a legal presumption is. So a legal presumption is basically a rule or a law that allows, in this case, the VA to assume facts. So the PACT Act actually creates 2 different legal presumptions. The first legal presumption is a presumption of exposure. So before the PACT Act, you would have to prove you served in a certain country, and while you were in that country, you would have been exposed to certain toxins like burn pits or particulate matter or diesel fuel or whatever it may be. What the PACT Act does, it eliminates the need to prove that exposure. So if you served in one of these countries I'm showing on the screen during the applicable time period, then the VA will presume you are exposed to these toxins. So you no longer have to produce evidence that you were exposed to toxins. You simply have to show you're in one of these countries during the applicable time period, and the VA will assume or presume you were exposed to toxins. The second presumption the PACT Act creates is the presumption of service connection. So there's a list of disabilities that the VA says are presumed related to the toxins you would have been exposed to. In addition to these conditions that are on the list, currently the VA is adding 3 new conditions. Number 1 is male breast cancer. Number 2, urethral cancer. And number 3, cancer of the urethral glands. So this is the way it works. If you're able to produce medical evidence showing a diagnosis of one of the presumed conditions, the VA will also presume it's related to your toxic exposure. So, in other words, this eliminates the need for any sort of medical nexus opinion. Doesn't mean they're not going to send you to an exam, they will, but you no longer need a doctor or a CMP examiner to say, yes, his male breast cancer is related to his toxic exposure. It is now presumed. Now, the VA is able to rebut the presumption. So what this means is if they could produce enough evidence, they could say, let's use emphysema as an example. They could say, well, his emphysema isn't related to his toxic exposure, even though it's on the presumptive list. We think his emphysema is related to his 30 years of smoking instead. Now, the VA would need to produce a medical opinion to rebut the presumption. It doesn't happen very often. Just want to make you aware that the VA does have that ability. And lastly, if your condition is not on the PACT Act presumptive list, that doesn't mean you can't win your case. You're just not entitled to the presumption. You're still entitled to the presumption of exposure, but you would now need to produce medical evidence showing that that disability that's not on the presumptive list is in fact related to your exposure. You only have to show by a degree of 50-50 that that is true. If you get a negative CMP opinion, get some help. Find a VA accredited attorney such as myself. A good VA disability attorney will have the ability to help you either get a new CMP opinion or possibly even get a private medical nexus opinion. And that does it, guys. Keep watching, keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing. And as always, you have the power to change your VA claim.